Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We recently upgraded our propane tank to a 250 gallon. We had a 150 gallon tank, so we upgraded to a 250 because of the addition of our new tankless water heater. And so I had a 150 gallon tank that I own. This one I just rent this one. It's really cheap to rent. So the one that I own, the 150 gallon, it was full, like 85%, which is as most they'll put in it. Usually 80, but for some reason it says 85% on it. So I decided I'd move it over by my container near my pool and my grill and try to get it hooked up so I can use that gas. There's 120 gallons of LP in there. So let me show you what I've done with that. So let's take a walk. So here's my old tank, and I got it sitting on some concrete blocks, leveled up nicely. All right, so I made this up on the workbench and the vise, and this is my regulator that came on the tank. It's a low pressure regulator, and you got two 1/2-inch shut-off valves and two quick connect couplings. And then my hose here will plug into those quick connects. Then the other end will plug into the appliance, whether it be my grill or my pool heater. And so I made this up on the bench. You have to get a little creative. So you have to have like this straight up at a 90 to get the valve on and then spin it down into place. But nothing you can't figure out. And I use a combination of Blue Monster, thread tape, and pipe sealant. Put the tape on first and then the thread sealant. And that seems to work really well. And this piece here that screws into the valve on the tank, this is a left-hand thread. So it's opposite of your lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. It's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. So you take that out, take the whole thing in, put it on the vise, build it up, and you can bring it out here and attach it. And then we'll give it a leak check with just Dawn dish soap and water. It's nice and rigid, doesn't bounce or anything. I don't see any leaks anywhere. So even with the gas valve on, it's still not going to leak until the hose is plugged into here. And even with the hose plugged in, it's not going to leak because it has a quick disconnect on the other end, so it's not going to leak until something's plugged into it. So pretty safe system. And I just have one hose for now, so I can plug into my grill. Eventually I get another hose if I want to run a separate, like a little fire pit, or I have a heater for my pool that's propane fired, so I'll be able to run, if I want to have the fire pit going and I got something on the grill, just want to have options. And I did take this cover over away from the tank. I took the pin out and took it over to the bench. And I cut the hole out larger to accommodate. Kind of wish that was back in there more, but it's going to have this cap in it all the time. So yeah, that turned out pretty nice. Now we got to put the nipple on the grill and on the pool heater, and we'll probably just try out the grill and make sure everything works. Yeah, this was a 150 gallon tank, and it's pretty full, a little over 80%. They only put them between 80 and 85% when they fill them up. So got this sitting over here, kind of hidden next to my container behind this big tree, and then I got my grill right there, and then my pool heater's mobile, so I can put it anywhere. And I got this 24-foot hose. This is a natural gas hose for outdoor use, but it also said that it was perfectly fine for low pressure propane, low pressure LP, liquid petroleum. So let me get the nipple installed on the grill and we'll see how it works. I think I might take this lid off and make a piece of metal to kind of shroud this fitting that sticks out, just in case a tree limb or something were to fall and hit that, it won't break it off, or something bangs into it or gets knocked over, whatever. I just think it'd be safer if it had a metal shroud welded. This is steel, this cap, so I can take it off, take it over by the container and weld something over that just to protect that fitting. I think that's a good idea. See what I can find. All right, I got this little piece of 16 gauge flat metal. This was like a block off plate for studs that you nail to keep from drilling through wires or something. Had a couple of these laying around. So I think I'm gonna split it in half this way and then bend it to fit around that thing. Just be enough to shroud those two lines. So let me get some tools out and get going on that. All right, I took the lid off here, brought it over to my little welding bench, and I got that piece trimmed up, and I just bent it by hand over a piece of wood. It didn't take much. I'm gonna weld it on about like that, and that'll protect those two fittings that are, one of them sticking out about an inch, so that should be good. So let me get that tacked on there and see how it looks. We'll get it painted up and everything. I think that'll work. We'll get it cleaned up and get some paint on it, see how it looks installed. One little corner there I'm gonna touch up. Alright, it looks good. I'm going to get some white paint on it and we'll reinstall it and just check the fit, and that'll be it. On to the next project. Take it over here to the paint rack, aka swing. Alright, that looks a whole lot better there. Very nice. I think that'll work. Alright, this is the standard regulator that was hooked up to the grill. That's where your tank hooks up. And this is the part that hooks into the grill. So it's got a 3/8 flared fitting. And here's what the grill part looks like right there. So I have a little, I have this little 3/8 flared nipple that hooks into the quick coupling. So this will go on the grill. And I can leave a link to all this stuff. Came off of Amazon, pretty cheap too. So all I'm going to do is this doesn't require sealant or tape or anything because it's a flared fitting. So we're just going to tighten that up, and then the grill quick connect will plug right into that. Alright, good and snug there. Alright, I got the hose run over here from the tank, and there's a hole in the bottom of my Blackstone grill. I just run it up through that hole so I can still shut the door. And then here's the quick coupling here. And then we're just gonna just like that. Off. And on. One-handed. Probably be easier with two hands. But there's no pressure on it like an air hose, like you would coming from your compressor. It's a little more difficult, but since there's no pressure, it pops in pretty easy. And that's it. So let's go turn the tank on here. We'll use this one. Pop that out. Get the other end of the hose. And same thing here. Turn the valve on. And let's see, we'll make sure she fires up. Might take a second for the gas to get over here. So I'm going to turn this on, turn this on, and turn this on. And we'll hit the start button. There it is. They all three fired up. Nice big flame for high. Turn it down to low. Still stays on. Plenty of pressure and volume. All right. We'll go ahead and cut these off. Okay, that's off. And for now, we're going to cut this off, disconnect the hose, put this cap back on here. All right, that's how you convert your propane tank to quick disconnect fittings. And like I said, I'll leave a link to some of those parts in the description. So thanks again for watching Projects with Paul, and we'll see you next time.